Alright, today we're going to do that thing that I always tend to do when a new pack comes out, and that is try and record something in Puppy Pack using Anglerfish. So there's lots of fun stuff that we could potentially steal from Danger Pack in Puppy. We've got Play Against All Packs turned on, and we're just going to hope that we end up facing a Danger Pack opponent in the late game. Now that obviously is increasingly difficult because previously there were only 5 packs and now there are 6. So you can definitely play a game, get to the end game with a bunch of Anglerfish frozen, and then just never face any Danger Pack opponents. So rest assured I did play quite a few games to try and get usable footage for this run. Now ideally I did want to get an achievement, but at the same time I was also going to be happy just getting any useful pet from Danger Pack for my team. It wouldn't necessarily have to be a level 3. Now that being said, if we do want a level 3, probably the best way to go about getting one would be to have a level 3 hatching chick. We could also have a sauropod stacking in the late game and then hopefully just find a bunch of chocolates, but hatching chick is the way to go, I think. Now we get an okay start here. I like taking bat and hoopoe bird if I want to draw, and I think we're going to end up getting some pretty good results on that front. As I think here, yeah, we do still get the hoopoe bird sniping there. I'm not actually sure. The hoopoe bird was silly from the tree kangaroo. I'm not sure if the hoopoe bird chose between sniping the final unit on their team or sniping nothing. It would be interesting to know if it's possible for the hoopoe not to snipe anything at all there. But luckily it was a tie. Yeah, so we're on turn 5, we have 0 wins, we still have 5 hearts. Again, it's a Danger Pack opponent with Silly, although I think in this situation, yeah, it's going to be another tie. Of course, we could just put a perk on the hoopoe bird at the back to prevent it getting Silly from the tree kangaroo, but honestly, it's not that big a deal, and it seems to be working in our favour for now anyway. So here on turn 6, we end up finding lobster and hatching chick, which I'm going to go for both of, and then we get another hatching chick, so we'll bring that in. I think here I don't quite have enough gold for the pangolin pill, although I suppose I could have saved it for next turn. But we're not necessarily desperate to start winning rounds, especially since we're tying so frequently already, although it looks like we might be able to scrape another draw here, yep. So now we're on turn 7 and we haven't won a single game, but we also still have 5 hearts, which is perfect because we're hopefully going to try and find chicken and some cans and scale the shop up a bit. So when we do end up angling something from Danger Pack, it won't be completely feeble and we might have a chance of actually winning with it. So bizarre round here where the opponent has tar at the back. I'm not actually sure if they had changed the order there. If they put the tar in front of the owl, would we actually tie here or lose? I don't know, but they're on 1 heart. You can see the matchmaking is struggling to actually find me an opponent that also has 0 trophies on turn 7. So here we get our first can. We do get a victory, but to be honest, we've had such a good start, we're not that bothered about it. Yeah, ideally we would draw some more times, but ultimately, I don't want to end up in the situation where we go so far into the late game that we have to play against like an endless sequence of hedgehog blowfish from pack 1. Because some of the other packs definitely do struggle in terms of tying enough to get to the super late game and therefore provide you different opponents, which obviously kind of defeats the point of getting the anglerfish in the first place. So we pick up the double lobster again. I did sell a lobster earlier, but because there's 2 of them, it would be rude to pass them up. Unicorn pack team here. I think we're probably going to be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, definitely going to lose this. Yeah, kind of unusual there for them to have such a high health sea serpent. So here we get an anglerfish. I could obviously take it now, but I would much rather get my team set up to have a better chance for the rest of the game. And because we tied so many times, we've got plenty time to look for another angler. And of course, having just passed up the anglerfish, we immediately face a Danger Pack opponent. Sometimes the matchmaking just has a bit of a sense of humour about these things. And we do actually lose. So is that 2 hearts gone? Yeah. So now we're starting to get a little bit concerned. We do get level 3 bat, and there is an angler. So kind of lucky to get away with that. And we're going to steal this Sumatran tiger. I don't think the bat would really have done us much good. And then since we have the hatching chick, we'll just start buffing it immediately. One of the drawbacks with these jump pets is obviously the fact that they knock themselves out very easily. So I think we'll put lemon on the tiger as soon as we can. And then we're not too far off level 3 hatching chick, in which case we can then start applying experience to the tiger and save us having to try and find loads of chocolate. Actually looks like we're going to go for the alternate road of taking a stake on the tiger. So even though it does probably knock itself out, it's much more likely to take out the opposing unit in one hit, which works out pretty well here as it instant knocks out the manta ray. One more hatching chick required, and there we go. So I think here I'm probably going to freeze this elephant seal. Now another reason to play the new version, to play Puppy Pack in the latest update is we've had some changes. So Axolotl has changed its ability, still the same, it just has fewer triggers. But Elephant Seal now has a different ability. And there's definitely some interesting stuff you can do with it. I think I've got other videos recorded on it already. But it's perfect for these types of runs because it's now a much stronger tempo but poorer long term. So we'll see it now. Elephant Seal comes in and then we just buy a perk. It only has 1 trigger per turn, but you can see it gives plus 5/5 temporary stats to 3 units, which is incredibly good. And if we can get it to level 2, then we'll double that and of course then triple it at level 3. Again, the tiger knocks itself out here, but we're still going to win. I think maybe with the octopus snipe mattered there. And yeah, we'll definitely go for Elephant Seal. I guess I froze the angler there in case I could potentially get 2 units, but I think it's maybe being a bit greedy. And we can't really sell anything now except once the hatching chick levels up the tiger, we could potentially get rid of it. I think we're going to be okay here because the high health on their units just lets the octo get tons of snipes. There were a bunch of other games I had where I tried to get multiple angles from the opponent and it just didn't pay off. I think I'll show a couple of clips at the end. And we'll, Now, plus 10/10 3 times, even if it's not permanent. I mean, it's like having, it's kind of like having 3 stegos in one. Although obviously it doesn't scale the way that stego does. And then look at this. Almost destroyed by Manticore Red Dragon, but thankfully the Octo Snipe cleans up. So yeah, I probably should have leveled up the Elephant Seal a bit earlier with the hatching chick, because we knew we were guaranteed to get a level 3 tiger anyway. So yeah, I could have done things in a different order, but now we can start working on the octopus. And you'll love to see this, a level 3 Bird of Paradise team that hasn't actually scaled up yet. Not quite sure what's going on there. Maybe they just didn't find any avocados. But even so, we only just scrape a victory. So yeah, we'll definitely freeze up any premium perks to put on the Ellie Seal. Yeah, salt, probably not. But, you know, if I find a steak, maybe I should freeze that. Yep. Clearly better than melon when the Elephant Seal only has 8 attack. Now you can actually trigger reset with the Elephant Seal as well, so if you activate it at level 1 and then level it up, you'll be able to activate it again. Although I think you're probably going to need a bit of extra gold to do that, but I'm sure I've got a clip of that already. So now we level up the Octo. I think I'm just going to let the Elephant Seal, take the experience. Although maybe I could have tried to push the tiger up to a bit higher attack. Yeah, you can see there, actually their cow survived on 1 HP because I didn't give the experience to the to the Sumatran tiger. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. I think it probably still would have lost. But funny when those types of decisions quote unquote backfire. So yeah, I buy the lasagna to make sure that the tiger has a higher attack, or higher health and attack. And then here we instantly knock out the llama. And I think, yeah, we scrape another draw. Was that opposing level 3 hatching check? That's exactly what you expect to see. Okay, here we go. We're going to get to see the reset. So we go for level 3 elephant seal. Unfortunately, we don't find a good high level perk, but we do get 2 rounds of temporary buffs, which puts the Octo up to 50-50. And then look at this. It's an extremely weak Golden Pack team in comparison. I think basically at this point the matchmaking gave up. You can see that we're on turn 21, 9 trophies, and they only have 8 trophies. So there clearly just wasn't anyone left in the pool at this stage to create a good match. So here are some of the other rounds. Here's one where I angled 2 Sumatran tigers after shop scaling with chicken. And then unfortunately there's a 1 HP breakpoint. I think maybe we would have lost anyway because they had so many Hydra summons. I actually wouldn't mind seeing if that battle could have been won with different tiger jump attacks as well. And then here was another one where I angled the cardinal fish and the black rhino, but both of them just level 1. And I'm not sure they had a huge impact on the outcome of the game.